Alright guys, so today, well actually yesterday, we just finished reading Great Expectations, and you know that you guys have a paper coming up, so I'm just trying to prep you for that. Last night you guys were supposed to refamiliarize yourselves and read the Where the Wild Things Are. You guys all did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and have any of you guys seen the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so at least you got a good feeling of it. So before our little activity, we're going to go over the main ideas of Where the Wild Things Are. So what ideas can you guys give me?
He creates his own imaginary world.
Okay, that's great.
He does this because he's unhappy in his real world, so he tries to create like a world he can control.
All
Yeah,
right,
kind of
that's a great idea.
Control issues-ish.
Okay.
He and
So
then he treats the monsters the same way like his mom treated him like the night before, sending them to bed with no supper and blah blah blah. So he like kind of projects or something.
control and his interactions with people.
Yeah.
Okay, and then would you guys say, his imagination versus reality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he wasn't happy in his imaginary world.
And then
That's
when
a
he
great
came back
point.
to reality,
Okay.
it wasn't as bad as it, he made it seem at the very beginning because his mom really did bring him the supper and it was still warm and she like made sure to feed him even though he made it seem like it was bigger.
That's a great idea.
It's kind of like
Good.
goes with the themes of childhood.
Okay, so it's something you guys could all relate to,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
a child.
We've all been angry with
Our parents
Our
and
parents. Figure.
friends.
And been sent to our rooms with no dinner.
So I guess another point is issues with authority, because
Yeah.
the roles kind of switch.
because then he wants to be authority.
Okay.
Yeah, because in his own world, he's the king.
Right.
And maybe he kind of sees his mom's side of things too. That it's like not great punishing other people or like it's not like she did it
to hurt him.
So,
or
yeah.
Right.
Like,
And then intentions, I guess. Okay, so these are all really good ideas. So keep all of these guys in mind. So what we're going to do with these now is we're going to break up into small groups and create a thesis statement via concept map with 3 main ideas. Now, can any of you tell me what a thesis statement is?
It's a main point or argument that you're making.
Right.
especially
Okay.
when you're writing a paper.
Right.
It's your-
So, and this is going to be really important when you guys write your paper. So my point of Where the Wild Things Are today is using a simpler text, you're just going to do an exercise of creating a thesis statement and 3 main ideas, and then later on this week we're going to use what we've learned and then use it towards writing Great Expectations. Okay, so basically a thesis statement is a statement. It's a clear, concise sentence that declares what you believe and what you're going to prove, and it's an argument. It's not a fact. It has a beginning, middle, end, and I'll go over this with you guys later, and we can practice on that. It contains really clear, concise language. It shouldn't be wordy. It should be straight to the point and as unlengthy as possible. Did I already say it's an opinion? Yeah, it's an opinion. It's not a fact. It's supported by arguments, ideas, and then keep in mind it can be proved wrong. And the thesis statement is going to be the center of your paper. So throughout your paper, you're going to constantly be referring to it, be supporting it and discussing it. It belongs in the introduction and the main idea of your paper. And then we're going to practice on that later. So I'm just going to give you examples of, really simple things of what a thesis statement should be. So something really simple is cats smell bad. And then cats smell bad because, who can help me out here?
They go to the bathroom in a litter box.
Because they pee in a box.
And they eat gross food. What food?
And they eat smelly food. So is this a fact?
No.
No. And it can be proved wrong, right?
Yes.
So these are two opinions that you guys can expand on. It's a simple statement, and yeah, it can be proved wrong. It's an opinion. So I guess what could you say that could refute this argument?
They clean themselves.
Yeah, they clean themselves. So, I mean, what could even actually enhance a thesis statement is, although cats clean themselves, cats smell bad because they pee in a box and they eat smelly food. And then another thing that I think is really going to be important, and you guys should keep in mind, and we won't do that today, is you guys should discuss both points, because that would make actually a really rich paper. Let's see. Okay, so now we're going to do our activity, and I know the inspiration software is down, so I set up for you guys to do a concept map in your little group activity that'll help you sort of visually organize what your thesis statement and your main ideas would be. Have any of you guys done a concept map before or used inspiration software? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't, a concept map is kind of like it's kind of like a bubble graph. So here, this is what your thesis statement is going to be. This is like the hub of your paper, and these are going to be the three main ideas. So this will just help you organize it, plug things in when you have, it'll just give you an image to plug your ideas in. So I'm going to have you guys break up into small groups and just refresh yourselves on where the wild things are, and you guys are going to together come up with a thesis statement. And if you guys don't get to the main ideas, it's okay, I'm not worried about it. What I really want you to do is develop good language and a good solid thesis statement that you're going to share and write onto the board at the end of the class. Does everyone understand that? Yes. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions? No. Okay. So, I'm going to have you break into groups now, and it should take about 10 minutes. So there's paper on the board, there's markers, there's pens.
Is this where we're putting our concept map in right now?
Yeah, and you guys, can play around with the shapes. You guys can play around with how you want to sort it out,
Okay.
how you want to organize it. That was just a suggestion. Let's see. And then I'll be coming around throughout the rooms and checking up on you guys, and you guys can ask me if you guys need any help. Just make sure you guys are on task. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
So it's thesis statement, where the wild things are. What do we want to prove?
Okay, well,
That